Ashamed to ask, ashamed to admit, got Jewy questions. This is it. Wise, wicked, simple, or unsure how to ask. We'll open up the books, the ark. We'll open up your cynical heart. No such a thing as a dumb question, okay, that's mostly true. Tammy and Shoshana are here for you. Ashamed to admit, ashamed to ask.
It's everything you didn't get in Jewish studies class.
Hi. You're listening to Ashamed to Admit. I always forget how good our theme song is. And because I listen to every episode just to, I'll check if I should post anything to socials about it, which like the funny parts.
Yeah.
And then I'll message you being like, cut me this.
Yes.
And then I was like, juicy question. It's great. It's a good song. It slaps.
Do you want to let our listeners know who you are?
What? Oh, yeah. Well, I'm going to, oh my God, chill. Yeah, I'm saying they're listening to Ashamed to Admit. They've just heard our amazing theme song. Presented by the Jewish Independent, also known as
The Jindependent.
I'm Shoshana Gottlieb Becker, and I have one wife.
I'm Tammy Sussman, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I have no wives, and as of recently, 0 husbands.
Is that something we applaud?
Yes.
I'll raise it. I'll raise an ASMR toast. 1 second. Let me do like a little.
Have you heard of JSMR? It's like doing that, but like with matzah or with Jewish products.
Yeah. Jewish ASMR. Jasmer. Yeah.
Shoshana,
Yeah.
do any of your Jewish friends or relatives practice ENM, meaning ethical non-monogamy?
I can say without a shadow of a doubt, none of my cousins do. None of my relatives.
How come?
They would be shocked and horrified to hear the words ethical, non, and monogamy being said in a row.
What about your friends?
I don't know. Maybe. The ones that, like, as far as I know, no. Mm-hmm. But I could be wrong. I don't know what happens behind closed doors, man. I don't know.
Okay.
You know?
So I know of a few Jewish people
yeah.
who practice ethical non-monogamy or at some point have practiced. In fact, in September of 2023, I pitched an article to the Jewish Independent. It got taken on. I interviewed a few subjects, and both these subjects, well, 2 of the subjects live outside of a Jewish community, but they are Jewish, and they expressed that it was easier to practice ethical non-monogamy when you're not, I guess, living in the shtetl, because there is...
Is it like a Jewish practice for them, or they're just like believers of ethical non-monogamy?
No, it's not something that they do because it's a Jewish practice.
Right. Do you want to... I'm going to pause right there.
Yeah.
We define a lot of Jewish things on this show just in case. Do you want to, just in case our listeners don't know, do you want to define what ethical non-monogamy is?
Probably that's really smart.
I'm going to take some notes while you... I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I know what it is.
All right. So ethical non-monogamy, otherwise known as polyamory or monogamishness, is basically when you are having sex outside of your relationship, or maybe you're having a relationship outside your core relationship, or maybe it's non-hierarchical, meaning that you have 2 or more partners, but it's not done in a secretive way.
I mean, like, everyone knows that there are synagogues where people are swinging. Does that count as ethical non-monogamy?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know people too.
Do you? You're going to tell me the names of the synagogues?
No.
Okay. So basically it's about either shtupping or seeing or having relationships with more than one person, but everyone knows what's going on. There's nothing secretive or deceptive about it.
Did the Independent publish your findings?
So what they did was they said, yes, this is a great idea. Go ahead and write the article. It was September 2023 and then October 7 happened. And then the commissioning editor said, look, I think we're just going to have to pause this story because it's not a priority right now.
Why don't you release it in conjunction with this episode?
That's a really good question. Well, I just thought, well, maybe we could do an episode on this instead.
Yeah, sure.
So it got me thinking, what does Judaism say about ethical non-monogamy? Because when I was interviewing my subjects, the overall feeling was that there was a sense of shame, not from them, not from the people practicing, but for other people in their lives. For instance, both of these people that I interviewed had mothers or in-laws, and they wanted to bring not their primary partner to Shabbat, they wanted to bring their other partner to Shabbat, and their family had a problem with it. They only wanted the first, even though in one of those relationships it was non-hierarchical. However, in one of the relationships, his wife was Jewish, his girlfriend was not. And so the mother had an issue, basically. We don't know if it was partly to do with the whole ethical non-monogamy part, but also the part where she wasn't Jewish.
Interesting. Fascinating.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
So much to unpack.
But the whole premise, and this is what I had planned to include in the article, was that it's so funny how we're all, like contemporary Jews, are so funny about it. Such like it's taboo. And weren't our forefathers and foremothers doing it?
Yeah, but like that's a really long time ago.
Okay.
I would start nowadays and I would answer that direct question being like so much of Jewish life is built around the concept of the nuclear family that anything that upsets that is going to send shockwaves.
All right.
Is going to be judged, shamed, whatever words you want to use, and it's the same with queer people, right? Like I think that's part of the intense religious reaction is not. Remember your friend who was like, this guy I'm dating who's not religious and who's having sex outside of marriage.
No, who is religious.
Sorry, no, but that's the thing.
He's
He's not religious enough that he's fine having sex outside marriage, but like his homophobia isn't a religious reaction. It's more of this like, again, the nuclear family is so central to Jewish identity and Jewish practice and community life. So I think that's partly it, right?
They see it as a threat to that.
Yeah, or it's just so different to what we're used to. But yes, to answer your question, our ancestors did practice. So I don't know if you could call it ethical non-monogamy because if women don't really have rights, the same, if women are considered, like equal to men in the old days, I don't know if you can call relationships ethical.
So you're saying only the men were allowed to have relationships?
Oh yeah, women
weren't.
couldn't have because you can't have the question of who a child's father is. If a woman has multiple husbands, right, you don't know who a kid's dad is, but like you always know who the mum is.
Right.
Also, the examples of so I'm going to move away from using, like non-monogamy. I'll just call it, it's
polygamy.
It's polygamy, right? It's multiple spouses. It's pretty much almost always for reproductive reasons. So one of the first examples we have is Abraham, right? Abraham. That of our direct ancestor. There's other people who have multiple wives. A guy named Lemach. It's a whole thing.
Classic Lemach.
But our direct ancestor would be like Abraham. Abraham has 2 wives. But the way that it comes about is his wife Sarah can't have kids. She's old. Nothing's coming out. She says, and this might sound familiar if you are a fan of Margaret Atwood, right? She says, I can't have a child. Take my handmaid, marry her, or make her your concubine, and she'll be like a surrogate. The child that she has will be as though I've had a child, right? Doesn't work out because Hagar, who is the handmaid, is forced into this situation. Again, maybe why you can't call it ethical. She doesn't have a say in whether that's happening or not. But she has ownership over this child, and it causes broigus because she feels superior to Sarah because she can fall pregnant and have a baby. Sarah's really pissy and starts, and she gets really triggered by the way that Hagar is pushing her button. So she pushes back. Hagar runs away. Hagar comes back because like an angel appears to her. It's a whole thing,
But it doesn't end well.
It eventually ends like once Sarah has her own child, who is Yitzchak or Isaac. she sees that Hagar's son, Ishmael, who's at least 13 years older than Yitzchak, is like a bad influence. And so she kind of forces Abraham to send away Hagar and Ishmael to live somewhere else.
Okay.
So yeah, it doesn't end great. It's lots of big personalities. It also doesn't work like arguably the one with the most wives one of the ones about like the most famous, I would say, is Yaakov. Jacob has 4 wives, but it's the same situation, kind of, right? He accidentally marries 2 ladies. He gets tricked into marrying the first one, Leah. Then he marries Rachel because he loves her. Rachel can't have kids, so she gives her handmaid, Bilhah, to him. Bilhah has kids. Then Leah stops having kids, so she's like, that's a good idea. So she gives her handmaid Zilpah. So like 2 of his wives are considered concubines rather than I think fully fledged wives.
Right.
And there's legal differences in those ways between a wife and a concubine.
Okay. And that ends badly because
There's so much jealousy.
yeah.
Rachel and Leah are at each other's throats. Like there's weird instances where we think like, if depending how you read the text, one of Leah's sons sleeps with one of the handmaids, like Bilhah or Zilpah. Like the kids have their own hierarchy between them, right?
They're jealous of Joseph.
Well, they're jealous of Joseph, but then also the rabbis say that the sons of Leah see themselves as like the rightful heirs and that the sons of the handmaids are lesser than, so they don't play with them. You know what I mean? So it's bad family vibes.
Yeah.
All of the stories pretty much that we have of polyamory seem to warn against it in some kind of way. Other examples, Hannah and Elkanah and Penina.
Never heard of them.
So Hannah, I think I mentioned once before, she like invented sort of how we pray today. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. So her story is that her and her husband do pilgrimage to the tabernacle every year. She never has kids. She's always really sad about it. Penina, so this guy Elkanah has 2 wives. One is Hannah, who is childless. Hannah is his favorite wife. That's what the text says. Penina has lots of kids, right? I think it does make for like really good writing because like each wife has what the other one wants, right? Which Penina has a bunch of kids, but then Hannah has love from her husband, which Penina lacks. And so then Penina like pokes and prods Hannah and makes fun of her for not having kids. Hannah runs into the tabernacle and like prays, but she prays silently, which wasn't a done thing. And she gets accused of being drunk. Oh, that's why you talked about it, because you talked about drinking. She gets accused of being drunk. And then the head priest is like, don't do that. That's inappropriate. She says, I'm not drunk. I'm just praying for a child. He blesses her that she'll have a child. She has a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then she has to like take that child to live and serve in the Beit HaMikdash for the rest of his life. So she kind of like never, like would see him, I don't know, yearly maybe? I don't know. Sad.
What's the Beit HaMikdash?
Not the Beit HaMikdash, sorry, the tabernacle.
The tabernacle.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the Beit HaMikdash?
The temple. But that comes later.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want other examples?
Yeah. Hit me with some more examples.
Solomon allegedly had 700 wives. Too many. Too many. Imagine having to remember those anniversaries. Am I right? Imagine all those birthdays. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I think it's I don't know if he actually had 700 wives or it's trying to like describe opulence. But also the Torah says that kings shouldn't have so many wives because they might be swayed by their opinion, which feels problematic, slightly gendered. Women can sway you. But it was also, the rabbis say it was political marriage, right? You know, you're marrying like to connect dynasties and create sort of those political connections.
700 could also just have been his body count.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe,
Just spun differently.
I think, but I also then don't know if it's like 400 regular wives, 300 concubines. Because concubines have less rights than a wife.
Yeah, so there's a
concubines,
status.
concubines
thing at play.
aren't given a ketsuba or like they don't have like dowry. So they're not given the same. I don't exactly know how it works, but they're not considered an actual wife. They don't have the same sort of protected legal status.
So what's in it for them?
Sex and kids. I don't know.
Sex and kids.
No, I also think that it's probably like people who are like of like women of lesser status.
Okay, so it's
Right,
food
so like-
and accommodation.
So like yeah, exactly. Hagar, who is a handmaid, is a concubine.
Okay.
She doesn't like she gets fed and housed, and so do her kids. It's a fine life when you have no other economic prospects because it's ancient times.
Sure.
Apparently one of his wives was the Queen of Sheba. Did you know that?
No.
Political marriage. I'm pretty sure. Don't fact check me. Please. Yeah, King Solomon. Slutty King Solomon, as the good book calls him.
Who's the one in the Hallelujah song about
David.
Okay.
That's a crazy story.
Yeah.
Do you know that story?
No.
So David and Bathsheba, he ties. Oh no, wait. Which part? The saw you bathing on the roof, or the ties you to the kitchen chair?
No, I think that's Samson and Delilah.
Yeah, so it's two different songs. But the saw you bathing on the roof one is David and Bathsheba.
Okay.
Because he has multiple wives, King David, right?
How
Because he's a
many?
king. I couldn't give you numbers.
Okay.
At least
69.
3. No,
Okay.
at least 3, I think more. Because he did the wrong thing of he married, as far as I can tell, or can remember, sorry, like 2 sisters.
Right.
And then he had this third wife, Bathsheba, and I think he might have had others. Anyway, long story short, on the roof, having a bath, as you do, sees a hottie, right? Like he sees her bathing on the roof.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, I like her. Like, again, don't remember the specifics. It's been a long time since I've read it. But essentially, she's already married, but he sleeps with her. Because he's the king, he can do what he wants. He her husband's in battle, so he brings her husband and tries to get him to write a get, like bill of divorce, but he won't do it for some reason. I'm probably getting so much of the story wrong. Anyway, he sends her wife to her husband to the front lines to be killed, so that he can get with her and marry her.
Why am I not surprised?
These guys.
I think that's classic dictator behavior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I messed up that story so hard,
Okay.
but it's really cooked. He sends her husband to the front line so that he can have dibs on the widow.
That is definitely not ethical.
No,
I think we
That's
can
what I'm
agree
saying.
on that.
So much of it is yeah. Anyway, by the time you get to the Talmud, they kind of sort of dissuade you from having lots of wives. Yeah. I think part of it is a financial thing. You have to be able to take care of lots of families.
Are you saying there was a cost of living crisis during the time the Talmud was written?
I just my personal thing with ethical non-monogamy. How do you have time for it? You know what I mean? With how many hours do you have in the day that you can spend quality time with all of these different people?
I think it's a lot easier, before you have kids, but people make
People
time.
do it.
It's amazing. You could ask the same thing of people who are having affairs. Where
100% don't get it.
How do you have the time for that?
I'm also in the 40s. What do you mean you have a secret other family 3 towns over?
Yes.
How do you have time for that?
You mean the 1940s?
Yeah.
That stuff's still happening now.
No.
That stuff is still happening now.
Who?
I'm obviously not going to say it
Why?
here, but there are.
Tell me, who do you know who has multiple families? It's unethical for you not to tell me.
When did monogamy become the norm?
It's a good question. So I think the Talmud was trying to dissuade people from non-monogamy for different reasons. And as far as I know, there's only one rabbi in the Talmud who had multiple wives. So by that logic, it seems to be the norm. One wife seems to be the norm already. But in around the year 1000, there's a man by the name of Rabbeinu Gershom, that's an exact translation of his name is our Rabbi Gershom. Rabbeinu, our rabbi. He's one of the first big diaspora rabbis. And he kind of brings in these proclamations of Jewish life living in diaspora. And there's a few different things that he does, but one of them is he bans polygamy for 1,000 years or so. He bans, I don't know if it's 1,000 years.
He puts an end date on it.
He just bans polygamy for a really long time. There's different reasons, people say different reasons why. One of the reasons they say is that he realizes that Jews are living in a majority Christian society. And if we are to be culturally similar to our neighbors and to not be sort of picked on by our neighbors, we should adhere to certain things. So
I had heard that it only kind of came about because of Christianity in a sense.
But I think so that's sort of the historical thing. But I've also heard stories about him that, again, I don't know if it's historical fiction that was written about him or it's considered legends about him, but he had 2 wives and one of his wives was a convert who then sold him out to the town vizier or something and fucked him over. So he was second wife, and no one can have one, you know? And then because he banned it for like a finite amount of time, everyone's always like, guess I can have 2 wives now because like his gezerah is over. However, it's happened for so long, it's the norm. So it's not going to happen anymore, you know? I will say the other things he banned, which I think are really funny.
Yes.
One of them is funny. So he banned polygamy. He banned no fault divorce. He's like, you can't just give your wife a divorce for no reason. She has to like agree to the divorce. He says, which is feminism. Yeah, we love it. The other thing he puts a ban on is opening other people's mail.
I love how like
Isn't that just so funny? Like that's so funny. I think that's hilarious. No 2 wives. Like be a mensch to your wife.
Yeah.
And just like don't open my mail, you guys. Like I think you can tell a lot about a person's personal issues by the types of edicts they give to the Jewish communities. Someone keeps opening my Amazon packages. God told me to tell you that we shouldn't do it anymore.
that is amazing.
I think it's so funny.
that is so good.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Love that guy, our Rabbi Gershon.
Yeah.
Bring him back.
Our rabbi.
Yeah. Love him.
It's funny. So that's that stuff.
All right.
Also, can I just say,
You can say, oh, is this a rant?
not quite a rant.
Okay.
All these laws around having one wife, the nuclear family being the center of Judaism, yada yada yada, doesn't stop religious guys cheating on their wives. All these laws that you follow, all these clothes that you wear, and still you go out and you shtup other people in a non-ethical way.
Yeah.
So
Just saying.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Question before we get to our favorite segment.
Sure.
If you knew that someone was cheating on their partner, oh, this is a good one. How do you handle that? What do you do with that information?
It's really hard because you don't want. Is it okay? Do you know are you friends with the cheater or the person getting cheated on?
The person getting cheated on.
It's really hard because if you know that they won't leave their partner with that information, do you tell them or not? I don't know. I think it's case by case.
Yeah.
If you know that like this is make it or break it, like this is the thing, I would tell them. And that they were definitely going to leave them, or like they would definitely act on that information you tell them. If they're not going to act on it, if they're just going to take that, if it's going to fracture your relationship with that person, and then 5 years down the line they need friends because their partner's not so great and they've isolated themselves because people have like gone out of on a limb to try and warn them, maybe keeping quiet is the good thing.
So you wouldn't go to their partner and say, I know what you're up to, fucking stop?
Oh, yeah, maybe. Depends how good, like how much information I have.
Okay.
If it's like I've heard it secondhand or not.
No, you've seen it.
Yeah, I'd go and tell them to stop. Yeah.
Or you never know, they could be in an ethical non-monogamous situation and they just haven't told you.
Know. Yeah. I know. Would you want to know if your partner was cheating on you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You?
Like, emphatically? Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon I'd want to know. And I reckon I would still remain friends with the person who told me.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you some stories off camera.
Okay. Oh. All right.
Is it time for
It's time for...
Stups in the Shtetl?
Yeah. Good one.
Because we don't shame stupping around here.
No, we
So it's not
don't.
shaming, it's stup in the Shtetl.
Yeah. But we may be shaming this person who comes from a Jewish community in a city, in a country, somewhere around the world. But this is a Jewish mums group, which is its own thing.
I love it. It's events and info. I don't even think I'm in events and info.
Yeah, sometimes the Jewish mums groups are like, there's too much happening in the one group.
It's a breakaway. It's a breakaway minion mums group. Oh.
I hate breakaway groups.
Yeah, well, you're Jewish. It's expected for there to be breakaways.
Yeah, but I don't
You know the thing of the guy on the desert island?
Say more?
There's a Jew gets stranded on a desert island. Like 10 years later, he's saved. People who save him, there's like, oh, there's 2 buildings. What are these buildings you've built? He goes, so that's the shul I go to, and that's the shul I wouldn't set foot in.
That's a very good joke.
It's like this.
Yeah.
This is my Facebook group. And that's the one that I got kicked out of and I'm in broigus with them.
So I made my own one.
Exactly.
And we're about to find out why. This person in this Jewish Mums Events and Info group writes,
Brains Trust, capital B, capital T. Brains Trust. Do you have entertainment ideas for a 3-year-old gorgeous boy's birthday party? Baby animals are not cutting it, nor are magicians. Any help would be enormously appreciated. I like it. Fuck the baby animals. They've done nothing for me. Also, I hate magicians.
for a
It's like I like to think that like for his second birthday, they had baby animals and magicians. And
they were disappointed.
And the 2-year-old was so unimpressed that she's like, God, I gotta up my game this year. I gotta up my game.
What kind of a future does this gorgeous baby boy love that she had to say that the baby
Gorgeous
boy
baby
is
boy.
gorgeous,
Yeah,
gorgeous.
my gorgeous baby boy.
My
yeah.
gorgeous baby boy. What kind, like there's nothing to look forward to.
I
in
also-
this kid is going to have depression.
You know what I'm thinking? Also, like, baby animals are not cutting it. Makes me think she's like holding auditions for this birthday party. She's going next. And then a bunch of baby animals walk in and like audition to be the entertainment. And she goes, no, next. Yeah. My question is this a regular Jewish 3-year-old birthday party or is it like an upshurin?
What's an upshurin? Oh, when they cut
so,
the hair.
Yeah. So like traditionally you don't cut a little boy's hair for the first 3 years of his life. And then when he turns 3, you cut his hair. So is she also having a barber come to this party?
Well, you've probably been, I have never been to an upshurin.
Really?
Never. Because that's not the circle.
I love it. I think it's so funny. We can do a whole episode on it. But for me, like the height of humor is taking a small child, sitting them on a chair. Because at an option, what happens is like the community comes and everyone gets to snip a little lock of the hair.
Mm-hmm.
So like putting a child, you put them on the stool, you give them like a lollipop to keep them calm. The baby's usually like sobbing hysterically. Everyone's taking chunks out of their hair. And then they take him and they like cut, like they get a proper haircut afterwards. But I think like if you were 3 and you look a certain way and you look like a little girl because you've got these like long flowing locks and then you look into the mirror and there's a little boy there instead. Like wouldn't you have like an identity crisis?
Yeah.
I think about it all the time. I think it's so funny that we give little boys identity crises over a haircut.
Yeah.
It's also like the best transformation. Like if you love movies where there's some kind of montage and the main character goes from looking one way to another, like before and after pictures of 3-year-old Jewish boys, my faves. It's so funny to see because they go from like a little baby to a strapping young man.
Okay. I feel like if this was an upshurin,
Upshurin, yeah.
they would say so.
True.
It's
Also, you don't really have baby animals and magicians at an upshurin.
I was going to say, you've been to more than me, so they usually don't have that.
No.
I cannot stress this more. Kids do not need a birthday party until they are old enough to ask for a birthday party. And when they ask for a birthday party, let's say they're around 3 or 4, you take them to a park, you give them a scooter, you bring a birthday cake. Okay? That's it. That's all they want. That's all you need.
When I was like 6, I had a jumping castle at my birthday party.
When you were 6,
jumping castle was really in my backyard. It was really cool.
not when you were 3.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm shaming this person
I
in
don't
the
have
shtetl.
I'm not a mum, so I don't have as much anger and fury as you seem to
You
have.
don't?
I think it's funny. Again, I'm like imagining her like auditioning 3-year-old party acts and a magician in a waiting room with a bunch of baby animals. And then maybe also, I don't know, like a hula hoop artist. You know, like all of the different options for a 3-year-old's birthday party in the eastern suburbs.
She's auditioning jumping castles.
I think it's so, like the concept is just so funny to me.
Family
Anyway.
and friends.
Family and friends. My mum doesn't listen to this. Does your mum listen to this?
I think she stopped, and she hasn't told me that she stopped, but I suspect she stopped or she's having a little break because she didn't call me up and get angry at me after the Kashrut episode came out where I outed her for getting me baked and egg McMuffins.
Well, that's what if you don't listen to it, we can talk shit about you, so that's what you get.
Thanks for watching or listening, everyone. That's it for today's show.
That's it for today's show.
You've been watching or listening to Ashamed to Admit with Shoshana Gottlieb Becker and me, Tammy Sussman.
This episode was brought to you by the Jewish Independent, or
The
Independent, with Alleyway Productions. The vocalist in our theme song is Sara Yael, and there are more credits in the show notes.
If you enjoyed this episode, forward it to a friend. Give it a positive review if you haven't done so already.
Yeah, just like I loved this. Zoe, when you said loved this on that episode, I loved you. Do it again. Thanks, guys.
See you next week.
Bye.